Hello, you two. I'm so glad that you took the time to be with us tonight and kind of just have a good family conversation.
Thank you for the invitation,
Thanks for
Rain
having
and
us.
Bryson. Yeah, we're
Yes.
excited to be here.
Bryson and Rain. Thank you
Awesome.
for having us.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you first of all, how long have you guys been married in SL?
It will be 2 years this June. So
Nice.
a nice journey. It's been a
Yes,
nice journey
this
so
has
Nice.
been a
far.
real nice journey. Yes.
Nice. So I want to know my question to you that's been burning inside of me to ask both of you is how did you two really understand or know that you were the right ones for one another? Can you take me down that journey?
Um, sure. Definitely take you down that journey. I think it really starts with how we met because, relationships, especially in this environment, takes time to develop. And I know everyone wants that whole pie in the sky fantasy of relationships, love at first sight, all that good stuff. But I believe in this environment, it takes work. It takes at least dedication to your partner to spend time with each other and develop a relationship over time. So I guess it started when we met. Um, we were talking about this earlier, just amongst ourselves, and we realized we honestly don't even know a lot of the same people. So I think now, 2 years plus down the road, we would not have crossed paths if it wasn't for the night that we met by happenstance. So, I happen to be, and let me preface this by saying I was single at the time. I was not in a relationship, and I happened to go out shopping for dances. I want to give a shout out to Paragon Dance Animations.
Oh, Paragon.
Yeah, Paragon. I
Yeah,
mean, not
yeah,
the big store
Paragon,
that they have
right.
now. It was a modest store at that time. And
Hmm.
I went there and I was the only one there. And I was like, oh, this is cool. I'll pop around and try dances. And then the next thing I know, I get an IM from someone that I wasn't familiar with, a young lady. And I had to turn my camera around. And she was saying hello. And I'm like, hello back. And appeared she was with a male Abby. And I was like, okay, what's this all about? And she obviously had been reading my profile and said, you seem like a very nice lady. She wanted to confirm if I was single, and I said yes. And she said she's here shopping with her father and would like to introduce me to him. And I was like, well, is there any reason why he can't speak? Like, what's all this about? And Taz, I'll let you take it from there.
So, so as the story goes, um, I know y'all are really anxious to hear the rest of the story.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it just my at the time my daughter had was kind of saying, "Hey, you should talk to talk to the lady," and I was in there and I was looking for dances too because I'm in a frat, uh, and so. Um, I was kind of taken off a little bit, and then she said, "Yeah," and then she said, "You should get in her box," and I said, "Okay, like who you, what, what have you done? Like who you talking to?" Um, and she told me, and then I was like, "Okay," um, and I was kind of taken aback a little bit, and then so then I just proceeded to get in her box and introduce myself. And kind of went from there. So
And shout outs to what frat is that? We got to get a shout out.
Xi Alpha Phi fraternity.
There you go. All right. Had to get a shout out.
Yeah,
All right.
Xi Alpha Phi fraternity
Xi Alpha Phi and
Incorporated.
Paragon, yeah,
And
Incorporated.
yeah, yeah,
Awesome.
Thought the whole thing was very sweet. Um, So she bounces out and leaves the two of us, and we continued, to hang out for the rest of the evening, just chatting, and I thought it was really, really sweet. So, you know, we continued to talk as the weeks progressed, and I think, over time, that's when we saw like we got to know each other more and more, and we didn't broadcast anything. We just did our little ventures with, you know, um, going from Sims to Sims and discovering new Sims and places to hang out, and found that we really enjoyed each other's company.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I think
That's
there
And
was a
all
awesome.
that.
point
Yeah, go ahead.
it all started to come together, and for me, I was like enamored with him. So, I
Mhm.
just wanted to spend all my time with him because that's what you do when you're really feeling someone. So,
That's awesome.
So I really want to know. I think my question, through all of this is, you guys have a, kind of, a unique love story. I think everybody does, but I want to know, really, I'm going to dig deep for you. I really want to know what made you to really believe that you were right for each other. What was that thing that just made you understand? Yes, this is the person I want to be with.
I think for me though, it was a matter of commonality, and what I found interesting was the commonalities, things that we had in common, things that just just our beliefs,
mhm.
whether it was spiritual beliefs, whether it was political beliefs, um, whether it was worldly events, like we're both into that. Um, also, the depth and the overall passion um, that's there for things um, is what I found to be the connection. So I guess that's pretty much for me. And
That's good.
mm,
And what
Yeah,
about you?
piggybacking off of what Taz said, yes, all of that over time, we had and we continue to have long and lengthy conversations that go into the evening, and they're very they're full of substance, and of course, I'm someone that has an image on here. I'm like I could be a goofball at times, because this is my play space, right? When you're in the real life world and you're all these things are getting hit, body blows all day long. I'm happy to be in an environment where I could just kind of chill and relax and have fun and be around good energy. And I feel that Taz is the good energy from me. He brings out the best in me, and we hear each other. We hear each other, and his energy is infectious for me. And I feel like there's not enough hours in the day for us to spend time with each other. That's like
mhm,
the only drawback
mhm,
because there's so many things we want to do, and we have honeydew lists for our land, little projects, and then there are things that we want to check out on the grid, and then of course there's sets to go to, and of course weekend shopping. And how do you fit all that in? So half the time we just kind of stay home and chill and talk, and which each conversation we get to know each other on a even more deeper level. So,
So I want to piggyback off of, I've got two questions just from what you just said now. So,
mhm.
Taz, I want you to expound, I want both of you to expound on what does that passion look like?
ooh,
What does it look like? That's personal.
what does it look
Well,
like?
I'm not
Why are
saying
we
with
sharing
Um,
that with the world?
I'm talking about, I'm not talking about, but I'm talking about kind of that you've got, I'm not just
the
talking about the
mental.
physical because passion comes in
Right.
many
Yes.
different
Right. Yeah.
forms.
Right. Yes. What does it look like? It looks to me. It looks like the other person um, listening to you,
Mhm.
um, and hearing your side of the story or your viewpoint, and possibly even considering it.
Mhm.
But that is what makes it intimate. The possibility of even accepting what you may say and even what you may not say. Um, it's just versus hearing you and then not hearing you, or just letting it go, or it just kind of going in one ear and out the other.
Mm.
Um, to me, that's just gold. So
Mm.
I guess that's the way that I can explain it.
Awesome.
Passion. That's such a powerful word. And I guess when I hear that word, of course, I think in the physical, because
Mhm.
to an extent that you can do here, and it's also colorful. It's very bright and warm.
Mhm,
It's like a fuzzy sweater. Our interactions are meaningful and deep, and I feel I can open myself
mhm,
to him, and that's a beautiful thing because I'm someone in this in SL that knows a lot of people, but I think all these people that think they know me, they don't know me. They don't know me to this kind of level.
mhm,
And this is the level that you only give to someone once.
Mhm.
mhm,
But it takes work to get there. It didn't start, when we first met each other. I mean, the spark was there, the
mhm.
intent was there, the attraction was there, but we had to make the decision to put things aside, to spend time with each other, make dates, and commit to it. That sort of thing. So it takes work. It
So
takes work.
you said something else, and I think both of you said it.
Hmm.
You said we hear each other. What does that mean? You hear each other. How does that work?
Um, for me, I think that that's a something that's learned. That's something that is practiced. That's something that is worked on. I think you don't know how to do that early on in life, and then as you get older, you then understand what that truly means. So, when I mean that, it means that um, you be quiet. You actually be quiet. You may want to respond quickly. And if you're trying to respond quickly, you're just waiting for your chance to respond, and then you're not listening to the other person. Um, so you're waiting to rebut basically, and then you're not. And if you're doing that, then you're not listening. So you have to. Sure, you can keep in mind what you want to say, but you need to listen first to the other person to then, okay, yeah, that's really what they're saying, and then know how to respond. Um, and then and then also you need to respond um, in thought as well, and that's also listening. So um, that's that's my take on your question. I think.
Isn't he incredible?
Yeah,
That
isn't
was a
it? That
great answer.
See?
I know it
Right.
was. It was. What about you, Gladiola?
You can call me Gladdy, Rain. We
Okay, Gladdy.
family now. You can call me Gladdy. Gladiola is my government name. We don't want to go that far. Um, I want to say ditto to everything that Taz just said because, bro knows me. I'm a little like all over the place.
True.
And, you know, I'm not a fit for everybody.
Mhm.
Truly, I'm not. And don't want to be.
Right.
Don't want to be.
Right.
And I was happy being single. Well, I wasn't kind of happy. I mean, you want to be with a partner in this environment. I feel for me, it's um, you have more fun that way. Um, and I was so fortunate to meet Taz the way we did and how it's developed over time. It's just an amazing combination. I mean, I couldn't have asked for anything more. Um, so, yeah, Taz allows me the freedom to be my little crazy, crazy self because I'll come up with all kinds of ideas or I'll attach myself to projects in world that are crazy, and then I have to explain it to him.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm
they've been
doing
crazy. I'm
this.
like, what are you
Yeah,
doing? Yeah,
and he kind of
okay.
he has a way of talking me off a cliff, and so I think I give him the space to be able to do the same. I hope I do, but I know he does so much more for me. Um, yeah, I'm
So
gonna
I'm
Nice.
stop
gonna
That's
it there.
cool.
I'm gonna turn it over to my host, my co-host, Bryson, and
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure he's got burning questions too. So I'm gonna let him,
Burning
ask what
questions.
he's got.
So I,
That's
so
right.
I got just
Okay.
two questions based off of the things that you guys had already said. So one, especially
Hmm.
in a world where, I mean, let's face it, if you go down your timeline, you have pictures of people shooting. They may be out in a restaurant and they got to shoot the plate of what they got to eat for dinner, and oh, they got to show the drink that they had for dinner. It's like you had mentioned that you didn't advertise on Facebook. You know, do you feel by not doing that that was helpful and it kind of allowed your relationship to actually grow without this added, viewing and pressure of people on the outside in your business?
Well, you just answered what I was about to say. So, yes, because I think people on here, um, unfortunately, don't have much going on. So they look for instances to insert themselves. And my personal relationships is not one. So I would have preferred, I preferred to keep things to myself until I decided to reveal it that this is a real serious relationship and that he's mine and hands off and all that kind of good stuff.
Right.
So, yeah, and then, now we or I chronicle a lot of things that we do because I like to see my memories pop up,
Sure.
6 months from now, a year from now, and it's like when I do see the memory pop up on Facebook, it brings me right back to that time, and
Mm-hmm.
it fills my heart with such joy because I remember exactly what we were doing in that moment, and it's such a good feeling. So, and it's my Facebook. So if you have an issue with it, just keep scrolling. That's how I feel. But it's
All right.
my way
Well,
to chronicle, what
yeah,
we've been
right.
doing over time. And yeah,
Awesome. Did you
I
want to
mean, we
add
take a lot of
anything to
pictures,
that?
but I don't want to, I have a brother here that wants to monitor the quality of
No.
pictures. If it gets too intense,
I
he's
just
gonna
like
make a
to,
comment.
yeah, I like to
Like I'm
scroll and
not grown.
maybe
I'm the
like a
oldest sister
picture.
here, but I'm the oldest sister. Like I'm grown.
This
So
is
if I
true.
post
This is true.
something, and you can't handle it, keep scrolling.
But I like putting the little facial reactions, like really,
Yeah, I
you
know
know
you
what
do.
I'm,
I
you
know
know
you
what I'm
do.
saying? No,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just playing. Taz, did you want to add anything to that?
Um, I guess the only thing I'd like to add is I'm one to not really do too much on Facebook. I guess I mean that's just or any other type of social media platform. I mean I'll respond to what people are saying. I'll respond, but um, the but what I've noticed like on Facebook is that if you're doing negative, then that is the most watched or that is the most viewed. Um, if you post anything that is socially conscious, um, it's not viewed. It's not even looked at. It may be glanced at. Oh, let's keep it moving.
Mhm.
Um, so I kind of see how people move. I also see the negative sides of Facebook when people bomb people out in a
Mhm.
relationship, or they're having issues and then they just airing it all out on
Right.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Something that I will never do.
Right.
Um, just can't bring myself to it. If I have an issue with somebody, then that's just one on one, and it's not for the socialites to even see it. Um, so that's
Okay.
kind of my 2 cents on that.
All right. No,
Yeah.
that's a
If we had
great feedback. Yeah.
if we had to give any advice to people that are starting out in a relationship in Second Life, which is not easy. Relationships in this environment is not for the lighthearted. If you think you can just skip along and no one's gonna be in your business, gonna ask you questions about who's this and how did y'all meet, and then there's always the consideration of crossover, on the urban side of SL. There's a lot of family situations, and this one's related to that one, or used to be related to that
Ah,
one, and
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know,
True.
you
True.
have to really go through like a DNA checklist before
Yeah.
you even
Yes, I
say
had to ask
okay
her
to a
that.
first date.
I had to ask her. I had to be like,
Yeah, we went
yeah,
through the
like,
whole
who have
gamut.
you been
Do
with?
you
Like,
know
yeah,
this
have
one? Do
you?
you know that one?
Yeah, yeah. Have
Wow.
you messed with
Okay.
And
it?
then we
Whatever.
realized,
Yeah,
yeah, we
it's
don't know any
because
of the same people.
Right.
And thank God, because it wouldn't work otherwise,
All right.
you know?
All right. Well, I mean, that's really the only other question I had, and you mentioned it. You started to go on to that, and I just want to know. I'm just asking for a friend. Um, what are some of the challenges that you faced before getting married and after you got married? What are those challenges? And the reason I say that is because some people think, let's face it, this is SL. You can be talking to somebody for 4 days and it feel like it's 3 months, in SL time. Okay. So,
Right.
and then some people they can just, they feel like relationships are, you know, kind of like your inventory. You can put them on and you can take them off. I can put somebody in the partner box, I can take them out, with no repercussion, without thinking or considering that it's somebody else's feelings that's on the other side of that screen. We are real people, behind this screen, even though it's an avatar you're controlling. So when it comes to even leading up to, like you said, you gave advice when you met someone, when you're starting out, what advice would you give someone that's, what are some of the challenges, let's just say, in your relationship or before you guys got married and after you got married? Well, what did that look like?
Challenges, I would say zero,
Awesome.
honestly.
Mm.
Didn't have any. We took our time. We got engaged in December and got married June the following year. So full 6 months. And, there
Mhm.
was a comment or two. Why is it taking us so long? Why is it taking so? But for us, it wasn't a matter of taking a long time. That's the time we set. We had other things planned prior to that, and we took our time with it. So, yeah, there was really nothing to discuss. And it's our personal business. So, why do you need to know? But
Awesome.
I think when people are venturing into this type of relationship, or really anyone in here, any type of relationship, even if it's a family type of relationship, you have to, number one, yes, remember there is a person on the other side of that avatar, um, and meet them where they are. Sometimes everyone has expectations about what they want or what they see, and if that other person is not able to help you achieve that for you in SL, then you meet then that's where you end it there. You don't end the relationship, but that's as far as it can go, right? Because if that person is not interested in going further, then you can't push that situation. So you
Right.
have to meet people where they are. And if you can have real conversations, which is a hard thing to do because not everyone has best intentions in this environment, right? I'm sure we can all attest to that.
That is true.
Um, um, if you find a situation where you can be real on that level and be able to interact in a good way, a good energy way, I'm all for it. But if it's not good energy and if it's draining or if it's demeaning in any way, we all can just say, okay, thanks, I've had enough. I'm going to keep it moving. And if people were to just protect themselves, maybe they wouldn't get caught up in so much nonsense that tends to be happening in here. So,
Hmm.
no, I'd say challenges is we just don't have enough hours in the day to spend time with each other. Before you
Gotcha.
know it, it's late. And, we're responsible people and we need to get up the next day and
Right.
do things. And,
Mhm, mhm.
you know, wish we had more time to spend with each other. Or
Awesome.
I wish I had more time to spend with Taz. That's all I could say.
This is where the crowd goes. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah. All right, Tess. What about you, sir?
Um, um, I guess I'll say that my challenge prior was not meeting her sooner. So
see? You
that
see
was
how he is?
the challenge that I
My man.
had
I
to
got you.
overcome. Um,
Let's wrap this up. He's got to get some later. You know what I'm saying? Just
Oh
for
my
that.
God. This is,
Just for that.
family show. No, I'm just playing.
Just for that. We
Wow.
family. We grown.
bro.
I'm gonna put it on you, baby.
Wow. Wow. That's a different show. That's after dark. Pink tip. After dark
No,
version of
it's
relationship.
not
Right.
gonna be. It's not gonna be a show. Let me tell you.
Man. Okay. Jeez. Well, with
Okay.
See?
that being said, I'll put it like this. It looks like you guys have been painting something on each other, and definitely will show the screen of your painting, Gladiola, and we show your painting, Taz. And, I just want to thank y'all for doing this. Do you have any last minute shout outs or anything you want to give out?
I just want to say, don't be afraid. Go for it. Talk to people in world because you never know what might happen. You never know how far it might lead. I know it's scary. It could be scary to open yourself up in that way, but there's so much to explore and do in world. Don't cheat yourself. Don't cheat yourself. And if you're hanging around people that are doing a whole lot of nothing, find some new people. Find some new people so you can get a resurgence of what SL is all about because it's a really cool place to be and to explore. So
Awesome.
that's all I got to say.
All right, and Taz.
I think all I gotta say is that one should not be suffering in SL. You shouldn't be in anguish. You shouldn't be in stress. You shouldn't be like, you come in and you're just hating it or you're just feeling obligated um, to do something that you're just feeling uncomfortable to do. If you feel comfortable doing something, then go ahead and do it. If you don't feel comfortable doing it, then you shouldn't feel obligated to do so or to do it. So um, find your happiness somewhere in here, find your peace, and do your best. That's all.
Awesome. Well, thank you both for being here, the Tinsleys. And I'm Bryson Capalini and Rain.
I am Rain Congrejo.
And thank you both for being here. And we enjoyed ourselves. And we will see you next time on Paint, Sip, and Relationships.